Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and I already expressed, and everyone else on the internet have already said this one many times, the definition of insanity. It's so very exhausted to say it in that perspective, how that phrase has been used, because once again and many times we have seen the outcome of that, but sure, within outcomes. I'm someone that I'm just sick and tired of seeing that these remasters, and I don't care for that anymore. But we have two perspectives of that. First one is Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which I'm not going to deny is right now a success. Despite that, well, that it always comes with caveats. For example, the Oblivion Remastered Steam Discourse, they are just starting with this one, no mod support. As far as I'm aware, this game got remade in Unreal Engine. And second off, that this is something that I always say that that's why even if you say no wokeness, yeah, you're going to see this with either microscope or just entirely ditching the game because first of all, I someone that I'm not going to deny type of Ender Ring. I know that is a good game, but what I despise the most about that game when it comes to this nonsense of an ideology is that it forces you to choose between the body type A, body type B, and it's fucking hilarious to me because if you use the Spanish subs, it actually tells you if you are a man or a woman. So at the end of the day, even if they use it these morons telling you, oh, why do you care? It's just something small that doesn't affect the rest of the game. The ones that decided to put that shit in the first place, you know what they drive them. They see man and a woman in a sex selector as offensive. That's why. And even if you see with this fucking trueness, they could even choose because they identify as something. Why do you not go all the way? At least at the end of the day, the game allows you to do that. But you know damn well that they want to push this nonsense once again on body type A, body type B, and it's a fucking remaster of an old game. That's why I see this like, nah, not going to spend any money in any of this shit. I'm just tired at this point of seeing that one. Or you just give me even just one protagonist, whatever is a man or a woman at that point. I don't care if it's only that one option of the two. I just tired of seeing bullet type one and two. In fact, why don't you call someone bullet type one and two and see how they react? Well, this is out there on the list. Why Oblivion remake before Morrowind? That's a funny one because since they already announced it that they were working on that shit, crashing. No surprise. And the fact that that shit weighs 123 gigabytes of storage. Uh, the original one, if I'm not mistaken, it was 5 gigabytes, all in creation engine. And the other one. And these people are always the first two. Bullet Taiwan and 2, bullet Taiwan 2 equals non-binary. So, that's the kind of aspect between this one. But that at the end of the day, because of nostalgia, even more to floor with the other ones. And maybe if more people are playing this and complete the game, because probably there are going some speedrunners out there, at least between this week and on the next one, we are going to hear that yeah, if they found something else aside of the body type one, two, or more wokeness, depends because the Bethesda already admitted what kind of DEI hires they have in their files. But that's one thing. Well, they need to re-release and re-release and once again the same shit. And sure, it has the same. At least because of the consistency in this one, I have to say, well, it sells, despite that it's one scientist and shit, but with ideology put it down to that degree. But talking about someone that loves to repeat insanity, and this case, you know, at least if you have something that works and wants that intended result, okay, continue with this insanity. At the end of the day, is the benefit. But you know something that you at this point you know them well, it actually failed. The same result is the same no matter the environment. So this one I enjoying it so much this day. You know why? Oh man. The Last of Us HBO fans erupt over season 2, Joel storyline that gamers have been dealing with since 2020. Killing beloved character in the most retarded way by a unlikable bitch that these 8 beloved characters saved. Only because revenge bad in a place that doesn't have like any sort of place to actually have in there. Uh, and all this inconsistency. Back in 2020, we saw that, well, even like I said before, I'm used to be a fan of The Last of Us. I'm hearing this shit for a reason because when saw the spoilers and was just like, even if I noticed it was an interactive movie, I was expecting something to be good out of it. But it was that fucking dog shit of a story that they just fucking stretched to hell out of, and all that budget went to that, and that's why they keep remastering and remastering because they have to they need Sony has that money that wasted so much that they really want to see back again, and that's the way they go in this cycle of insanity with the remasters. But Rockman, when it comes to repeating the same fucking dog shit of a story that pissed everyone off that cared for this IP, when the normies call out that these egotistical morons told us to fuck off, that we don't know what we are talking about. Now they with their show that they were fucking praising it, suddenly they are just like not doing that anymore. These egotistical morons that they didn't want to list at the gamers that actually were calling this shit out, they are going back to the same realizations. So, and this is the best part in all of this. Normies at this point they don't care about the game, but they just heard from that it was based on the game and they wanted to see how the live action was, how the live action was going to be. And it's the same fucking result because once again, imagine that they take away your a beloved one in real life, and you're seeing the same fucker that did with intentionally and they are telling you upon every side that the world wants to force you to tell you this message that you have to forget that person. No, even no, go fuck with that shit. And this is the topic that I said that yeah they this fucking Neil Cockman tried to do a character replacement just so to satisfy his ideology, or at least the ones that he tried to appease of. It failed miserably. They only reported the sales after they discounted the games many, many times. And not from retail store, from the fucking PC Station store. But well, just to read you this one quickly. A familiar tone is brewing online as HBO's The Last of Us heads into its second season, with early episodes confirming that the show is following the major plot beats of The Last of Us Part 2. Fans new to the franchise are now encountering a moment that rocketed the gaming world back in 2020. At the center of the storm was Joel, of course. So, Pedro Pascal Portello draw mixed reactions into season 1, yeah, we know that. And The Last of Us Part 2 game was bashed in controversy early on as new character Abby, a jacked muscular female, mercilessly ends the lives of Joel, the primary protagonist of the first game in the sequel opening hours, and they force you to play with her and try to empathize with her. They are, and this is the main point in all of this. They are trying to repeat the same shit, and also that what are talking about this one because it's the same plot hole. You don't put that shit that you have this one character that care off at the start of the story, and then they suddenly kill it off. You feel the grudge against the one that kill it off the said character, said beloved character, and they the story wants you to force you to like it. The same psychological insanity, and it's hilarious to me. You see a lot of mob breeders from not only the normies, from the same side that plays video games that they were telling you have to buy it to understand it. It's a fucking interactive movie for fuck's sakes. And you know how fucking disingenuous are. They are disingenuous as fuck. They didn't criticize the gameplay because they already knew what they were that The Last of Us was an interactive movie. Well, at least the first one told a story that actually a lot of people care of. And then you put that crap on the second one. What would you expect? To be honest, it's like I said, even if you have the most budget added in that project, it doesn't matter. It has the best of the best graphics and certain attention to detail. The environment. What's the point if you don't have something that actually makes you hold out that one? That's the main point. Like even I have said with video games, for example, with Code Vein. Code Vein didn't have good appealing when it comes to the Dark Souls formula, but still you had the good looking female characters. Also you had guys there, even they were like, appealing to the other side. And they also you had a good story there, and makes you it made you ignore all of those problems, or at least sure you couldn't ignore it, but they were not out of a grudge because it actually had elements that made you stick around to that. And with The Last of Us, it's not that case. And season is heading the same way. When also they had the fucking chance to correct that. Dude, I'm not watching any of this crap. But it's hilarious to me that they really wanted to repeat the same shit. Looks like this fucking cock, Neil Cockman, is so fucking butthurt at reality that he doesn't want to acknowledge that what he's writing is fucking dog shit. And it doesn't matter if you put it in a series, a live action adaptation, a video game, a novel, because it's the same fucking problem trying to sympathize to someone that is unlikable as fuck after he did something fucking stupid and dogshit, and trying to ruin all everything was that was constructed at the start of the story. It tells you that nobody should waste their time there. But hey, the cycle of insanity, right? So that's it. Thanks for watching and please take care.